Hello Leo, my sweet pussycats. How are you? Welcome to your weekly reading with me, Cindy. So welcome to the mountains and the forests, Leo. Oh, and look at, isn't that funny? I'm wearing my beaver canoe shirt, which is kind of so typical. I look like in the woods and the mountains of Canada. Well, I am in Canada. I'm not in the mountains for real, but I'm trying to make it look that way. So I hope you enjoy the new scenery in the background. I also wanted to mention that I've started doing extended readings beyond this, what you're going to watch here. So if this reading does resonate with you and you're so inclined, at the top of the description of this video, there's a link to an extended on my Vimeo channel. And in the extendeds, I specifically am looking for any blind spots in regards to this reading, as well as additional advice too. I mean, you are going to get advice, and this is like a normal reading, but I have decided to do kind of go above and beyond the energy that comes through on here. And with the Vimeo too, I'm imagining there's less people that'll go to that than the YouTube. So, you know, hooking up with the energy, it should be a little more personal. These are general, lots of people coming to watch. Lots of energy to read. So let's start, Leo. Let's start with Leo. Leo. Reading for Leo. Oh, wow. This is crazy. All right. You know, the funny thing is, this is a tree of life. So Aquarius got the exact same card at the exact same time. Very first card that came out for them. And what's interesting is I was thinking about saying something at the beginning of this video, but I didn't. Because I thought, well, they're already going to know what it's about because of the title, which I don't know yet because I'm just starting the reading. But you guys know. What I was going to say is this week, the readings have been quite interesting. Like some of them have been about really like personal or basic things in your life or situations. And then like Aquarius, it's like, why are you here in this lifetime? And then Cancer was pretty much all about like who you are in this lifetime. So you seem to be getting one of those kind of like deeper readings. This is not just about the energy of right now, although it could be. We'll see where that goes, what comes out with the Tree of Life. This is all about, you know, the existence of everything and the existence of nothing. It's karmic cycles playing back and forth, and the fact that they're, you know, as much as we have freedom of choice, in some ways we guide ourselves to those choices in connection with the universe. Like it's a big card to pull out. It's the only deck I have that has a Tree of Life in it. And they don't even give you any information about this card in the booklet. Like all the cards in this deck have information about them, but not this one. It's very open. So let's see where this keeps going, Leo. This is going to be an interesting reading for Leo. Tree of Life. Six of Cups. Nine of Wands. The Knight of Swords. Now, because we have the Tree of Life, I don't want to say much about the energy until I pull out the last deck. I'm using two decks. This is my Dreamscape Tarot. Yeah, I think it's Dreamscape Tarot. The Death card is at the bottom. Rebirth. Death and rebirth, death and regeneration is interesting because being the underlying, I'm receiving the message that, and I often do, the underlying is the reason for the reading. So if your life has been like a lot of deaths and rebirths, change, adjustment, endings, beginnings, this is why. These cycles are kind of part of this, your destiny in this lifetime, things that you wanted to experience as a soul, lessons that you wanted to learn. And you know, everything is karmic based, but I mean also, karma isn't, see, we often say, oh, that's bad karma. Well, it's how you perceive it, right? Bad or good. Sometimes there's a lot of situations you may go through in life that seem very difficult, very challenging. You may have lived a past life that was really, really easy. And your soul basically wants to understand the yin and the yang of that energy. What is it like to live a life that is very easy, where things come naturally, there isn't much struggle, there's prosperity, there's health, there's happiness. And then on the other side, in the next lifetime, well, my soul would like to know what it's like to live in the opposite end of that. That is balancing the karma too. It's not just about, well, you did so good in the last life and maybe you took advantage of people and now you're going to pay for it. The universe not keeping like tabs and going to send you to jail. It doesn't really work like that. Okay, with the Tree of Life, you have the Death card. There you go. This is it. That's it. The death and rebirth. This is your cycle in life. This is part of your lessons that you're going through. See, this is, okay, I'm going to pull out all the cards. I'm going to pull out the Nine of Wands. Wow, because you have the Nine of Wands here twice. The Nine of Wands is with your Six of Cups. Your Nine of Wands is with the Six of Cups. Wow, your Nine of Wands has a Knight of Wands. This is a very action-based life because things end, but you're the one who needs to take the action to get it going again. And then the Eight of Pentacles with the Knight of Swords. Sorry, I didn't show you that. You need to put the work in. You need to take the action to put the work in and rebirthing things here. Oh, wow, look at the bottom is the Lovers. See, there's choices to be made in this lifetime, and a lot of those choices are up to you. You play out a great portion of the masculine energy in your choices. I'm just seeing that because the Lion is sitting underneath a masculine energy. That doesn't mean you're male or female. It's just reading the energy. So it's like a yang energy. And I'm seeing that here. There's an awful lot of yang energy. You have the two fastest, yangiest knights. The Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. So, yeah, very much so. Like you are the yang energy. You could be female and still be heterosexual. It doesn't matter how you identify yourself in that sense, but you are yang energy. You are yang energy for sure. Also, you seem to be playing out, in this lifetime, Leo, you seem to be playing out your South Node to your North Node energy. Which is, again, it's like karmic energy. It's taking lessons learned in past lifetimes and applying it to this lifetime and moving yourself forward ahead to higher vibrational energy and more experiences. Like we move through the zodiac sign in our lives. We experience all of it, really. I kind of feel like we experience every single day that's possible to have been born in a year. I mean, that's like, well, it's 365 lifetimes right there. And then if you have a leap year, do we all do a leap? I don't know. I just feel that energetically. I sense that we go through each one. It's almost endless, like the possibilities. But anyway, so in this lifetime, Leo, we're really playing out death and rebirth as a theme of this life for you. It kind of feels a bit like, you know, messages like this come through to be a bit of a pep talk too. If, because you may have friends, you may have other people in your life, things maybe they just go really easy for them. That's this lifetime for them. It doesn't mean that you're being punished for anything in the past. And I think we really need to stop looking at it like that you're being punished for anything in the past. It's energy balancing. It's yin and yang, and you are playing out the yang in this lifetime. It's about movement, but it's also about claiming the yang energy. Perhaps in the past, you were really exercising yin energy. You were really holding on to self. You were really kind of contained. You were allowing things to happen around you or even come towards you without, you know, playing out the effort of going towards it or claiming it. And in this card too, there's a little sperms moving towards these eggs, but these eggs have something inside them. But again, it's the movement, right? Think about that. The egg sits, I mean, it moves very slowly, but the sperms are the yang, they got to do all the movement. They have to do all of the movement. You're really living a yang life. I really feel that here. You're really living a yang life. I want to see. I'm being called to the numbers here. Where's number 13 sitting? Now, some of you may even know more about this tree of life than I do. I like to say that I know I know a little bit about a whole bunch of stuff instead of, you know, just I know specifically about this and that's it. So somebody might know specifically about this and that's it. But so we have what came out with your tree of life card was the death card, number 13. And number 13 is sitting here between 5 and 6. And we have the symbol KN. It's sitting right here, right on that arm. And these arms on the tree of life, as I am understood to believe, is moving through the cycles, and it is shifting energy cycles as well, which is what you're doing in this lifetime now. With the 6 of Cups and the 9 of Wands, part of the challenge for you here is soulmate contracts, for sure, with the 6 of Cups. They can be challenging. Working your way through those, there will be points where you may even feel with some people that you have really strong connections with. You can't even explain it, but they don't necessarily always come out to be positive connections, at least in the way that you see it to be positive, but there's a lesson involved there. So this does feel like there's an awful lot of lessons. There's an awful lot of pushing forward. This is a really pushing forward lifetime for you. Also, it's trying to learn how to come back to being the inner child, to finding the inner child. As you've progressed in life, things that have been difficult can kind of cause that inner child to pull back and to hide because it needs to be protected, or you feel it needs to be protected. You need to utilize a different element of yourself. So this inner child of yours can feel sort of hurt or damaged or hidden. And yeah, and then the 9 of Wands again with the Knight of Wands. And this is also learning to really there's so much fire here. You know, there's so much passion. I'm really feeling that, particularly from just these 2 cards. But the 9 of Wands feels pretty worn out, pretty exhausted by whatever it is that they've been working through. You know, not really sure if is this going to get me anywhere? And wanting to fall back into that yin energy, because the 9 of Wands is just resting there, just holding their own, sitting at almost the top of the stairs, not really feeling like I can go much further. The Knight of Wands is the energy that comes in to push it further, to push you to, I want to say, the 10 of Wands. I'm going to pull out clarifiers too for these, which will be interesting. But the Knight of Wands is almost your deeper soul coming through and just energetically being Leo, harnessing the power of the sun, like almost like a nuclear reactor inside you when you feel like you're all done and you push through. It's a really an interesting element to have inside of you, and not everybody has it. Not everyone has it. It's sort of almost maybe, I don't want to say something that develops in your soul through lifetimes to learn to push through, and you're really demonstrating to yourself how strong you can be to do that in this lifetime. But you know, it's a little bit like okay, and this is the other thing, I'm getting the message that when you do this, sometimes you create enemies, because some people cannot push through as well, but when you do push through, it leaves them behind a bit. And sometimes they feel pissed. I'm just getting that message. Sometimes they feel pissed because, hey, if I'm going to be defeated, I want to be defeated with you. I don't want to be defeated by myself. You rose up here. Why'd you do that? Like, I'm kind of getting that. I'm getting a little bit of that, which is also this difficulty with these soulmate contracts. So in some way, you're also here to help people that are part of your soul tribe move forward and learn to find that push through. Learn how to dig into their own little nuclear reactor, which is the it's this, I want to call it like the zest of the soul. The zest of the soul that when all else feels lost, you can do it. Like you know, the Olympics, for as political as it's become, and even sporting, one of the most wonderful things about it that has been very much lost in politics and money and commercialism, one of the wonderful things about watching people compete on a physical sense like that is you can see who has that little nuclear reactor inside of them. Particularly, I'm thinking about like rowing races, running races, things too where it's usually one person competing on their own against other people. And they're all exhausted to the same point, and then someone just somehow, just before this finish line, they dig into that nuclear reactor and they pass everybody, and everybody else is probably like, it's good. They don't have it. They don't have it. They have nothing left. And you know, there's also, that's not something that you may have always had in life, but you're building that up too. You're building that up and learning how to balance your energy. This is an energy balancing lifetime for you. It's really finding that nuclear reactor inside you, Leo. The Knight of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, this is funny because the Knight of Swords is typically a little bit more harsh, rash than the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands will, I'd like to say, takes a pause to assess the situation, just long enough to determine if the outcome is worth the risk, right? Where the Knight of Swords to me will just, you know, that's what I want, I'm going for it. That's what I need to say, I'm going to say, without assessing anything. It's just a fly right in. But it feels like you already do assessment at some sort of point here. And once you've found your little nuclear reactor, it also feels a little bit like this is some way for you when you have pushed through the most difficult point of something. And it really, it's almost like you've been knocked down. Or almost like you've been knocked out and they're just about to count to 10. And you get up on your knees and you stand up again, and everyone else is thinking, what the hell? How did they do that? That's the point where, like, it's almost like it knocks sense into you somehow. It knocks sense into you, Leo. This is very interesting reading. So it kind of knocks the sense into you, and you know clearly what it is that you want to do, and you'll work for it. You will put the work in, and you will go after it. And you will really then start to see the fruits of your labors coming through here. And I say labors because I'm feeling like working on more than one thing at once here. Really like taking quite a bit on here. Personal things, taking personal things on to support family and friends. Taking goals for yourself and working through those as well. Interesting that these are your two underlines, right? So the Death card is prominent. It's come out twice in your reading. I don't think Spirit is really trying to tell you, you know what, this lifetime is about being yang energy. It's about harnessing, utilizing yang energy. You're going to have deaths, rebirths, endings, rejuvenated cycles. And in that, you are presented with choices. You are presented with choices. And with the Lovers, you may also, too, in this lifetime, go through more than one romantic, like deep soulmate connection in this lifetime, which isn't unusual. Oh, at the bottom before I even start shuffling, 3 swords. Okay, yeah. Whew. So let's clarify this. My gosh. Interesting, my first week of doing extendeds, I found it kind of tiring. Because I'm doing like 3 zodiacs a day, which is actually 6 videos a day to do the extendeds. I didn't expect some of them to be so intense. All right, any more information about this Tree of Life? I mean, we know it's about deaths and endings. I'm feeling something very significant between the number of 5 and 6 here for you on this life path. You might also, wow, yeah, you might also be a life path number 1. Which is, because I'm just at 5 and 6 is 11, break the, oh no, yeah, no, sorry, 2. A life path number 2. My math. 5 and 6, 11, making that 2. a life path number 11 or 2, you can look that up and see if either one of them resonates with you. Even the number 56 somehow may be significant to you with this 5 and 6, with 13 sitting between there. And then, so what we're pulling out here is the King of Swords. All of these endings and rebirths in this lifetime are really bringing out your King of Swords energy. It's all about clearly understanding and sitting very strongly and very firmly in your truth, your belief system, what you've it's bringing this back in. I'm really feeling like the child within you, which is your deeper soul, and it's the most prominent part of you, but it does become hidden and gets kind of pushed away as we go through life. I'm really getting this King of Swords connects with this. You connect with this at some point in this lifetime, and you hold pretty strong to it. That's kind of the goal here, is to hold pretty strong to it so that you can gain all the experience, the difficulties that you will have gone through in this lifetime. But what that does is it really strengthens you, and you hold pretty strong to who it is you know you are inside here. But I'm really getting something significant about 5 and 6, 56. The 6 of Cups and the 9 of Wands. The 6 of Cups and the 9 of Wands. The 6 of Cups and the 9 of Wands. Justice, yeah, you are. It's balance. It's balance, balance, balance. So, contracts. I'm really getting contracts here. These may be physical contracts in a 3-dimensional in this lifetime that you have with soulmates. Some of them you may need to break. These may be work contracts too that are created, and some of them may become burdensome. But part of the challenge is to push through these. Part of the challenge is to push through all of these contracts. When you really feel like you just can't go any further, it's to find that little nuclear reactor inside you to give you one more push, because the one more push actually takes you to the end. So when you take yourself to the end, all of the work and effort and sacrifice that you made up to that point is not lost, right? It becomes success. But with the Justice card, I'm also feeling like you are helping other soulmates here to balance their yin and yang energy. You're all working together in this, really. There'll be triggers that happen for you with some of these soulmate connections that cause you to take action. At some point, it's just like, that's it. The Knight of Wands and the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Wow, the Star, see? Because that's what you want. You want these dreams. You have dreams here that you want to fulfill in this lifetime. And when you push through, getting this nuclear reactor going inside of you, I just cannot get that phrase out of my head for this reading. The nuclear reactor within you is this is the balance. Perhaps in a lifetime before, maybe you were very earthy energy, you were very grounded. You may still have parts in your chart that sort of echo that energy. Maybe your moon is in an earth sign, your rising could be in an earth sign, something. Or maybe you're even coming to this video, this is for whoever's coming here. Maybe your sun sign is an earth sign, and maybe you're rising Leo. But so there's definitely, I feel like there's this challenge for you in this lifetime to know when, yes, I need to stop, I need to pause, I need to think, I need to assess, I need to ground myself, I need to take action, and I need to take it right now. Like that energy, that balance here, because that's what brings you to your dreams and your wishes. The Knight of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles. The Knight of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles. The Knight of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles. It's funny how you're getting one card for each one. The 3 of Pentacles here. This moves you towards where you can actually share ideas and experiences with people to help you grow and expand beyond who you came into this lifetime as. a lot of it could also be associated with work, with the work that you do. The work that you do may not just be, you know, if you go to an office and that's what you put in there every day, or wherever, like where you make your money, where you make your bread and butter. Maybe it's where you get your gravy. Maybe you do something on the side and it brings in an extra income, but that's really where your passion is. However that works for you, once you've pushed through the harder parts of life, this is like a life story for you, my goodness. You really get to knowing what it is you want and just going for it very quickly. You just come right into this Knight of Swords. And it's going to cause so much abundance for you and growth and prosperity and new connections. With this Three of Pentacles, I'm sort of feeling like too, it may be connecting you with some newer soulmate contracts that almost, I'm just sort of seeing like people that you come into life with, but closer to the end of your life. And then you may have only had very minimal interactions with these souls in other lifetimes. And then the connection with them, as you've shifted your energy, and they would have been as well to be able to connect with you, the connection is stronger towards the end of your lifetime. And as you go into other lifetimes, these people are more prominent in your new lifetimes. It's an interesting shift. What's at the bottom here? The Hermit. Wow, that's interesting energy. Maybe you've got some Virgo. Virgo's next. I'm likely. That's funny. Yeah, Virgo's next. So maybe there's something in there for you. I don't know why. I don't always like to say that because I don't want to make you feel like I want you to go watch all my videos. Like, I don't know. Just there's something about this earth energy for you. But maybe you already do, like, because I know some of you come to the readings and, yeah, it's like your rising or your Venus or your moon. It's not necessarily your sun. And sometimes those can, like my rising is Gemini, and I find that can really resonate on a different level than being like my Aries energy. But let's look at the Lovers for you. I know you guys are going to be curious. So let's look at the Lovers for Leo. The Hermit came out again, last minute. Oh, look at this. Okay, interesting. We have... I'm going to hold these up in two sets. The first set is the Strength card and the Queen of Pentacles. This is the part here. Oh. You know, because I said with the Lovers, too, it feels like you may have more than one strong romantic soulmate connection in this lifetime. One of the prominent ones may be someone with a lot of earth energy to them. Someone who has maybe Taurus, Virgo, Virgo with the Hermit again, or Capricorn. They could be that in their sun. They could have it in their moon or their rising. It could be prominent energy in one of their houses. Now, with the Strength card here with you, I feel that this may be challenging to you. And it's going to feel challenging, like this kind of energy. If you're dealing with earth signs maybe, or people with, you know, that are very earthy, grounded people, they may seem slow moving to you at times, but that's meant to trigger you. It's kind of this energy over here that we were talking about. You're meant to trigger them, they're meant to trigger you, and it's to spur this yang energy into you. This could even be a motherly figure. With the Queen of Pentacles, this could be a motherly energy too. Could be a parent. I mean, that's obviously not a romantic connection, but it's still a very deep, loving, that's still a very deep soulmate connection there. And they may have acted as a trigger for you in many things in your life to push out the yang energy in you. The Eight of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and the Hermit. Because we're talking about this Lovers card, it feels like there will be a point in time where it feels like you can't move towards something. It's your happiness. And I want to say you may feel trapped in reflection. You may feel sort of trapped in self-reflection about this. And I'm getting the message that feeling, you know, because the Eight of Swords is a lot of times we see ourselves as trapped, but we're really not, because it's, you know, what's tied around her is not tied tightly around her. She could wiggle out of that and pull the blindfold off and see, oh, I just need to walk between these two swords. She's not really trapped. It's trying to look at things from a new perspective. This is your happiness. Whatever this will be is your happiness, but you will feel like you can't move towards it. You will feel like you're trapped in a cycle of self-reflection about it. Okay, what happens after? Oh, I'm just going to stop right there. What happens after the cycle of self-reflection? So look at the bottom, Cindy, there. Okay, the Ten of Cups is what happens after feeling trapped in a cycle of self-reflection about some other connection for you moving forward. That's interesting. That's an interesting reading. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you found that informative. I did. I think that's beautiful. Isn't it beautiful to sort of know what this lifetime is about for you? I've tried to do things like this for myself and I just can't. It's just, I don't know why. It's almost like you need someone else without any sort of preconceptions to read something like this for you. So it's kind of cool. There you go. If this resonated, like I said, there is an extended at the top of the description, and we'll look at any blind spots that you may not be aware of in your life. It's so broad, isn't it? In your life, or at least when you come to the video, and further guidance. All right. Thank you so much, sweet pussycats. Until next time, Leo, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.